everyone scrambling for safety, leaving 5 wounded. First responders rushed to the scene, working frantically to save lives. Paramedics tended to the injured.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Buck Breeze, Mr. No Slacking himself.
Love that shit.
No slacking and ball. That shit is bad for your health. You know the vibes, man. Tap on in with your boy, man. What's really good? How y'all feeling out there? Yo, man. So my people sent me this, man. He said, yo, the entire fam got shot up, man, at a funeral. Like 13 days after, you know what I'm saying, the dude was killed or whatever the case was. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I ain't watching. I don't really know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to tap into it because, you know, time is money and we can't get $1 back. So let's see what's really good, yeah.
Pittsburgh Project, Urban Impact,
Oh.
Allegheny Elementary.
Oh, they said Pittsburgh. This happened in Pittsburgh? Oh, shit. We taking it to the bird. All right. Let's get it then. Let's get it.
Pittsburgh Project, Urban Impact, Allegheny Elementary School, Allegheny Middle School, and Alderdice High School.
Oh. Man, with the mask stood up. Like, what's going on?
Let's go! Yeah! Where my pops at? Yeah! Hey, tell him, Jit! Tell him, Jit! Yeah!
Late on October 15th,
Hey, this about to be a crazy
2022,
story, man. Let's tap
a
in.
tragedy struck at a Pittsburgh gas station.
We taking this shit to the Berg, baby. Let's go.
Around 3 p.m., police rushed to the Sunoco on Cedar Avenue after reports of drive-by shootings. They found 3 young men lifeless on the roadside, riddled with bullet wounds. Just 13 days later, during a funeral for one of the victims, a masked gunman stormed.
You know, I just want to say this, man, before we even jump into this. You know, Pittsburgh be wildin', man. You know, they don't just run around out there with little handguns and shit. Like, them dudes, they run around with K's and all this extra shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, actually, rest in peace, man. I know a dude who was from Pittsburgh. Actually, you know, I ain't know him that well, but I met him. He seemed like a cool dude and shit. His name was Benny and all that, you know. He died out there in Pittsburgh, actually at a gas station shooting like this one. You know what I'm saying? So, man, yeah, let's tap into this, man. Let's see what's good, man. Pittsburgh shit really do be wildin', though. You know, they police said that they not even coming out, I think, after 1 a.m., unless it's like a real serious crime, like a murder or something like that. They ain't coming out for like robberies and all that type shit. Shit's wicked out there, man. It's wicked. Let's tap into it, man.
Formed in, firing at mourners in a heartless attack. What should have been a moment of closure became a nightmare. But the darkness didn't end there. This is the story of John James Horniasis Jr., a life cut short too soon. Please take a moment to
Sheesh.
like
They can't
and
get some
subscribe,
get back.
to be part of our growing community, and drop a comment telling us where you're watching John James's story from. Born in 2002 in Pittsburgh, John was a 20-year-old with a bright future ahead.
Damn.
He was the kind of person who'd give you his last dollar, stand up for a friend, or crack a smile to lift your spirits. Basketball was his passion, a way to channel his energy, find focus, and escape life's challenges. On the court, he was
Fun fact about Pittsburgh, you know, a lot of the kids out there, the adolescents, it's like from the ages like 13, 14, and all that, they don't even expect to make it to 16 out there. That's how real and crazy shit is out there. You know what I'm saying? Shit is real life out that bitch. It's like Chicago and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like on a different level.
alive, chasing dreams with every shot. Off the court, John was a loyal brother, son, and friend, full of love and quiet strength, even when life got tough. John
that was him
still
in the
figuring
beginning,
out
saying,
his
"Where's
path.
Dad at?"
Like many young people, he faced struggles but carried himself with grit, dreaming of a stable life for himself and those he cared about. His laughter filled rooms, and his heart held big plans. But on that fateful October day, everything changed. That morning, John woke up like it was any other day. He made plans to meet 2 close friends at the Sunoco gas station on Cedar
Damn.
Avenue. They were just
I'll go
hanging
down.
out, waiting for a bus, maybe joking around or planning their next move. Nothing about that moment hinted at danger. But in an instant, their world turned upside down. A slow-rolling SUV crept by, unnoticed at first. Then, in a flash, gunfire erupted, tearing through the air and stealing John's life and the lives of his friends in a
Damn.
senseless act of violence. Without warning, the quiet street exploded with gunfire. Surveillance cameras captured a gut-wrenching moment. John James Horniasis Jr. and his two friends, standing at the Sunoco gas station, suddenly pulled out guns and unleashed a storm of bullets at a passing SUV. The vehicle was peppered with shots as the trio fired relentlessly. But they never
Damn.
saw what was coming. The people
went down?
inside the SUV were armed too, and they fought back with equal fury. In seconds,
Who these
the
dudes they
scene
showing
turned
though?
into a deadly chaos. Bullets flew back and forth, tearing through the air as terrified bystanders dove for cover behind gas pumps and car doors. What started as an ambush spiraled into a brutal shootout
In a shootout at the gas station? That's crazy work.
with no one backing down. The cameras didn't just catch the violence, they recorded something even more heartbreaking. Two women, Betty Jean Averett and Jacqueline Mahalik, who were simply waiting for a bus nearby, collapsed to the ground, struck by stray bullets that were never meant
Damn.
for them. Innocent lives,
Damn.
caught in the crossfire of a fight that wasn't theirs. In the midst of the chaos, a bullet struck 20-year-old John,
Ah.
cutting his life short. One of his friends took a shot to the leg but survived.
The gunfire finally stopped, leaving behind a scene of devastation.
Hmm.
Frantic 911 calls flooded in, and soon police and paramedics swarmed the area. First responders worked desperately, performing CPR and trying to save the wounded. But the damage was too great. John, Betty Jean, and Jacqueline were rushed to the hospital, where doctors fought to save them.
Damn.
Despite
Two
their
girls? That's crazy.
all three were pronounced dead, their lives stolen in a matter of minutes.
Damn.
As police began to unravel the tragedy, they learned this wasn't a random attack.
Of course
The
not.
feud had boiled over, erupting into a deadly clash between the young men at the bus stop and the people in the SUV. Days later, police arrested 19-year-old Sharon Troutman, believed to be one of the SUV's occupants.
First it was a
He was
YN.
charged with John's death.
Look at little dude. Little dude, man. He killed two girls and a dude, man, just letting go. It's crazy.
Meanwhile, 21-year-old Charles Hines, who stood beside John and fired his gun, was also arrested. Despite his own leg injury, he now faces murder charges for the deaths of Betty Jean and Jacqueline, the two women who never should have been harmed. Investigators
That's crazy.
painted a grim picture. John, Sharon, and Charles were caught in a violent exchange, firing across Cedar Avenue in a reckless shootout. John's body was found just steps from a playground, a handgun lying
Damn,
beside him.
homie.
A haunting image of a young life ended too soon.
Damn.
For Betty Jean and Jacqueline, the loss was unimaginable. They weren't just strangers at a bus stop. Betty Jean lived in a nearby high-rise, a familiar face in the neighborhood for 5 years. She wasn't just standing there, her loved ones cried. That was her home.
Damn.
Their deaths left families shattered, hearts broken, and a community reeling. The pain didn't stop there. When news of John's death reached his family, it crushed them. They were left grappling with grief, confusion, and disbelief. To them, John wasn't just a name in a police report or a face in a shootout. He was their son, their brother, their friend. A young man with a big heart, chasing dreams despite his struggles. He loved basketball, laughed loudly, and carried a quiet strength that inspired those around him. His loss left a hole that could never be filled.
Damn.
Despite their heartbreak, John's family wanted to give him a proper goodbye. They poured their love into planning his funeral.
Y'all think, hey, let me just say this, right? Y'all think he put this part together with AI? I think this part is put together with AI. I don't think this is even a real scene right here. But anyway.
Funeral, picking flowers, writing
AI taking over,
obituaries,
y'all.
and inviting those who knew him. On October 28, 2022, at the Destiny of Faith Church on Pittsburgh's Brighton Road, over 100 people gathered. Some came to grieve, others to honor a young man taken too soon. The air was heavy with sorrow as friends and family filled the sanctuary,
That's nasty
some
work.
praying quietly. The gunfire sent people screaming and scrambling for safety, leaving 5 wounded. First responders rushed to the scene, working frantically to save lives. Paramedics tended to the injured, rushing them.
My boy got the mask on like he got the Stradiati with him too. I don't know. You think he ready to pull something out? Or he was just looking like, what the fuck going on? You know what I'm saying? He probably do got that thing on him.
To hospitals where, thankfully, all 5 survived.
Maybe not.
But the scars of that day, both
I think he would pull it out by now.
physical and emotional, would linger long after the wounds began to heal. The most shocking twist was yet to come. As police pieced together the crime, surveillance cameras became their greatest ally.
You know, this reminds me of a situation I was just talking about with my boy. I will say, like, how, should you not bring a pistol in the church? You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, what if some shit go down in church? You know what I mean? Because people always trying to come and shoot up a church nowadays. If you paid attention what's going on, some dude just went and shot up a church recently. And a guy that was in front ran him over with the car. A security guy must have shot him, and a random, regular bystander must have shot him too. You know what I'm saying? So, when you go to church, what you think, man? You think you should leave that thing at home? Or you think you should keep it with you and put it in the Lord's hands? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We put it all in the Lord's hands, but you don't spare the rod. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get to it, baby.
Footage showed a black car near the church before and after the shooting, a key clue that led investigators to believe it was the shooter's getaway vehicle. Later that day, they found the car abandoned in Brighton Heights, just a short distance from the church.
Of course.
Detectives meticulously tracked the suspect's movements through more footage, following them block by block, until the trail led to a neighborhood in McKees Rocks.
That's how they get
There, police caught up with Sean Davis and Hezekiah Nixon. The teens tried to escape, but their plan failed on the McKees Rocks Bridge where they were stuck in traffic. As officers closed in, both suspects jumped out of the car. One dropped a handgun on the road.
On the bridge?
The other, in a desperate bid to cover his tracks, hurled his weapon into the river below.
Smart.
But it wasn't enough to save them.
Right.
Police arrested Sean and Hezekiah on the spot, charging them with attempted homicide, aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, and firearms violations. A gun recovered from the Ohio River, matching the description of the one Nixon threw.
Oh, they was trying to get up out of there, huh? So they was on the bridge, but they was probably headed to Ohio type shit. I don't know. They was trying to get up out of there like that. But throwing that gun in the river right in front of the police wasn't his smartest move, though. It was smart to throw it in there, but not in front of the police, man.
Was later linked to the crime, a stolen weapon with a bullet still in the chamber. As the investigation deepened, a heartbreaking truth emerged. John's family had feared this violence. In the days before the funeral, they were haunted by whispers of retaliation tied to John's death in the Cedar Avenue shooting. The tension was so thick, they begged for police protection at the service, terrified that the anger and pain surrounding John's killing would boil over. Their request was heard. Officers were supposedly assigned to keep watch. But when the funeral began on October 28, 2022, not a single officer was there.
Exactly.
In a devastating mistake,
Pittsburgh.
the 2 officers sent to protect the mourners went to the wrong location, a nearby funeral home.
Yeah, you hear this shit? The officers went to the wrong location. Yeah, okay. Them officers say, yo, man, we ain't about to be a part of these YNs, you know what I'm saying? They out here wilding out. We know they gonna come through and spray this shit. We done heard about this shit all week. You know what I'm saying? Nah. You know what? Let's go to the wrong spot. And then we gonna pop out at the right spot later on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
absence of security left the church defenseless, and
Mhm.
John's family paid the price for a mix-up that never should have happened. This wasn't just a failure of logistics. It was a betrayal of a grieving family's trust. The community that came to mourn John was forced to face terror instead, their
That's
sorrow
crazy.
compounded by a system that let them down when they needed it most. When the officers arrived at the wrong funeral home and found it empty, they simply left. In the wake of the tragedy, Pittsburgh Police Major Crimes Commander Richard Ford admitted the mistake to CBS News.
Right.
Reporter Rick Earl, speaking live from the scene, shared what he'd learned. Family members outside the
Bullshit.
hospital were
Bullshit.
devastated,
Bullshit.
saying police were supposed to be at the funeral but never showed up. A law enforcement source confirmed 2 officers were assigned to the church but were pulled at the last minute for another task. They planned to return
So, did they show up to the wrong spot, or was the officers pulled? Come on, man, get the story right.
after finishing, but the shooting erupted before they could get back. The source added that it's not
Right.
standard for Pittsburgh police to attend funerals, but someone must have feared trouble, which is why the family requested protection in the first place.
It should be standard for the police to be at a Pittsburgh funeral. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that shit be going the fuck down, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
For many, this explanation wasn't enough. Beth Pittenger, head of the Citizen Police Review Board, spoke for those who felt betrayed. She argued that after John's death in a public shootout that killed innocent bystanders, police should have been at the funeral, request or no request. The 2 officers assigned to the service were reportedly suspended,
There we go.
but details about why or for how long remain unclear.
Right. Somebody had to
No
take the
one
fall.
knows if their supervisors will
They had to make somebody take the fall for this shit. Like, yo, listen, man, somebody gotta eat this. You know what I'm saying? You ain't want to go. You knew the situation. You ain't go. But somebody gotta eat this.
face consequences or if this failure will spark real change in the department. For John's grieving family, these unanswered questions only deepen their pain. In the days
Crazy.
after the funeral, rumors swirled. Some whispered that John might have been caught up with dangerous people or situations, but his loved ones fiercely reject those claims. To them, John wasn't the person shown in headlines or grainy surveillance footage. He was a young man with a huge heart, fiercely loyal to his family, always chasing peace in a world that made it hard to find. What should have been a sacred moment to say goodbye became
That's
a second
crazy.
crime scene, where the pain of one violent death exploded into more trauma. Despite it all, John's family holds tight to his memory.
Crazy
They
word.
remember a 20-year-old who lived for basketball, stood up for his friends, and faced life's challenges with courage.
Hey, man, tap in, man. Jump in the comments. We know what you think of this, man. Know what I'm saying? Story of John, man. Know what I mean? Rest in peace to him. Know what I mean? Condolences to the families and all that. Damn, man, it's crazy. But you know, that's how shit be going down out there, man. Hey, I don't really know what to say, because truthfully, I'm not really surprised. Know what I mean? Pittsburgh shit be real crazy. Like, real crazy. Look up some of their crimes, man. Word up. Joe, man, it's your boy, Buck Breeze. Mr. No Slacking himself. No slacking involved. Huh. That shit is bad for your health. Know the vibes, man. Tap on that.